If you had to summarize your life in 12 days, how would you do it? What days, and ultimately, which moments would you highlight? Well, for me, it really started on day 0, or June 12th. From the very beginning of my parents' marriage, they always put faith first. They put it first in their relationship, and they put it first in their family and their children. At 43 respectively, they had both had 11 children. I was on the way. They were in the snow. They were up at the snow for a family vacation. My mom slipped on ice and punctured her spleen. She would ultimately almost lose her life after she suffered a blood clot. I always like to joke that I ultimately saved her life because me being inside of her actually stopped the blood from going to her heart. Days 1 through 3. Now, might you ask, what is it like growing up in a family of 12, or being the youngest of a family of 12? Well, again, like I said, because faith was the first thing that they valued, all 14 of us would pile in our van every single Sunday morning, and we'd drive to church. How they put up with us on the way there, I have no idea. But we did it. We lived in Morgan Hill at the time, so it was a 30-minute drive. But every single Sunday, they would have us make the trip. We didn't have too many friends because we were all homeschooled. All 12 of us were homeschooled at one point or another, until it was time for us to go to our local Catholic high school, where we all went to church as well. This high school was started by my uncle in 1980. He started this school so that these families would all have a place to send their kids and learn the Catholic faith and grow in it. At home, there really was no time for selfishness. There was no time for calling attention to yourself. Well, that is unless you didn't eat your dinner. Then the timer was set and the wooden spoon was placed on the table. You then ate your dinner. At age 6, we would move from Morgan Hill to San Jose, where my father had his business running, and that was where the school and church was. While being homeschooled, we learned to read, write, sing, and even attempt to draw. But more importantly, every morning we always started at the same, in prayer. Whether it was my mom piling us all in the car to take us to church, or simply just to say the rosary, or to start the morning with a prayer after breakfast. While also at home, I started learning piano. I was at the age of 6, and as you can guess it, I ended up playing for 12 years. While also being at homeschooled, we also had chores to do every single day. At night, it was time, like she said, forks and knives. It took a while to set the table and clear it. But we all loved it, and we wouldn't have traded it for anything else. I now have 35 nieces and nephews, and actually 36 now over the last couple of weeks. Since I started this speech, I now have another one. You'd be amazed that when you go out with your parents for dinner, people think they're your grandparents. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love them very dearly. All these experiences as a child I received gave me memories that I truly believe that not very many children ever will get to receive in their lifetime. I was truly blessed. High school was slightly different. Being homeschooled, you see, we didn't have report cards. There was no progress reports. There was no sports. The only sports we ever played was with each other, or at local Little League, if we're good enough kids to earn that. In my high school class, I only had 12 students. Yeah, we weren't like most schools. That school still valued faith and everything else. But when you only have 6 girls in your class and 3 of them are your cousins, you don't have very many options, let me tell you. However, that didn't stop our school. We still had prom every single year, and we still had dance class where we'd learn how to dance, and that was so much fun for all of us, even if we were dancing with our cousins. I was also able to play 3 sports while in high school. I played basketball, I ran cross country, and I also ran track. My senior year of high school, I graduated, and my class, and the class below me, my junior class, we all adventured off to Europe, where we would see all the amazing places that Europe had to offer. While we were in Europe, we attended all of the amazing sites like St. Peter's Basilica, the biggest church in the world where the Pope currently resides. We also went to Normandy Beach, where our great troops marched upon France while fighting against the Germans in the war. However, that didn't stop us from having a little bit of fun along the way, like going to the top of the Eiffel Tower, or even, yes, jumping in the dirtiest lake in the world, the Po River. After I graduated high school, in 2019, I attended local junior college, Evergreen Valley College, while also attending San Jose City College. It was there I realized that, wow, I truly was in a bubble growing up where I was. There were plenty of people that didn't grow up the same way I did. They didn't have big families. Some of them didn't even have parents. It was then that I realized how blessed I really was. They also might not have had the same views as I did, but you had to learn to respect them, that other people have opinions. And I now know that I can respect anyone who doesn't have the same opinion as me, because that's what life is about. Everyone has free will. Then coronavirus hit in 2020, and I then took a year off. I started working, and I am now working at a jewelry store where my uncle luckily let me leave early today. I've now been working there for 3 years, and I've learned how a family business works. I am back at San Jose City College, where I met and I took an oral communication class with Dr. Baker. He then invited me to participate in this, where I eventually met Mrs. G. I am truly blessed. I love everything, and I'm very blessed at the opportunity to be standing here and talking to you amazing people. And I can't wait to meet all of you after. I'm also on the San Jose City golf team currently. But most importantly, in my life, I still keep family and faith most important in my life. I love all of my nieces and nephews and all of my siblings. Though some of them don't live so close to home anymore, I still try to stay in contact with them as much as I can. And if I could leave any of you with anything today that I've learned in the last few months, as we lost our local principal that had been the principal at our school for almost 40 years, that if you just call someone and tell them you love them, whether it's your mother, your father, or one of your loved ones or your family and friends. Now, days 11 and 12, they haven't been written yet. Well, whatever may happen, I'm just going to trust in God and enjoy the moment. Thank you, and God bless.